Okay, got the shade tree jet ski going on. We're still working on the 97 Seadoo GTX. This is the new jet pump for it. Here's the original. The impeller is seized onto the shaft. It's basically welded itself on there. We tried to get this off with heat and a big 4 or 5 foot bar on a breaker bar, and it would not come loose, of course, with the back piece in a vise. This is supposedly the new improved version of this jet pump. It's made by, who is this company? Titan. They're giving all these parts, but I think that's what all of these ended up being after I got them. But I spent the $100 on these and about $90 on a specialty tool for the older. This is to install the bearing and the seal on this older style pump, factory Seadoo. That's a $90 tool. Ordered it for this job, but hopefully I can send this stuff back. I don't know. Probably keep the tool because I'll run into it again. But this is a factory sealed unit. In other words, here's what we got. With the old one, you have bearings that are all inside here. These type of bearings are inside here, and then you've got a shaft, you've got a seal, and those bearings have got to be set at an exact measurement. Thus, the expense of this tool is machined to put those bearings in the right place, and you press them in. You don't beat them in. I've seen people doing videos where they beat them in with a hammer. You don't take a hammer to this kind of bearing, on the end, and that's just stupid. You're asking for trouble doing that. And these older style jet pumps use this synthetic lube. That's like $12 for a bottle of this stuff. I won't be using any of that. And I bought synthetic grease to pack the bearings. Okay, so your new, improved, supposedly, pump has sealed bearings. And it doesn't have the flat shaft. Let me go ahead and show the other side of this. Like this one. It's got a 12-point socket. That is a 3/4. Yeah, 3/4 12-point socket fits it. Okay, to hold it so you can do your impeller torque. And I'm not going to be giving impeller torque on this because all the Seadoos are different. Okay, they're all different. I've read 92 on the bigger ones. I've read 52 for this one. But you've got to torque your impeller to spec. So what the spec is for this one will not work for every Seadoo. Okay, you have to find out what it is for yours. So I'm going to tighten this to spec. The Seadoo manual does call for red Loctite on these threads, which is one of the reasons the impeller is hard to get off. But red Loctite, and then you blue Loctite all of your other bolts. These are 16 foot-pounds. These are the ones that basically just put the other piece. I believe they actually call that a venturi that fits onto that. And yeah, so this is going to have a cone, and the cone, it comes with a new cone when you buy the new and improved pump. This will obviously fit more than one Seadoo model, I'm guessing. It comes with new bolts or screws in this case, and then washers, because this has an O-ring on it, just like the factory one does. So it comes with all these, and yeah, so you don't have the liquid oil escaping and running out, but you've got this sealed up bearing. And I'm going to put this together, torque it to spec, and get it back on the jet ski. Oh, and I did get a new neoprene seal. I waited till this came in to make sure I did get the right one. It's a 140 millimeter pump, I believe, on this 97 GTX. And these are about $10 too for a new seal. But I didn't take the old one off. I could have done that while I was waiting, but I wanted to make sure I got the right seal before I went and ripped my old one off. Anyhow, gonna put this together, put a new seal on the jet ski itself, and see if we can't get this Seadoo back on the water. I will be using silicone sealant on the edges of the venturi part of this, or actually no, it's going to be this part, excuse me. This part, I will silicone around that where it slides up into the ski, and I will give it 24 hours to dry before I go sticking it in the water. Guys, you got to let your silicone cure before you go putting running the engines or getting it, whatever. We get in a hurry sometimes. Let it cure, and you probably won't have to do the job over again. But let's get this together. And there's a new impeller. I put some Loctite red. You can kind of see I try to smear it on there with the tip, and then put this baby on. This is regular standard threads. And then I'll get it on, and I'll have to torque it. You know, put a breaker on the bottom, torque wrench on the top. Oh, it looks like the whole thing's spinning now, but look at that. Look at that clearance, man. It's so tight. Oh, and the new improved Seadoo pump. This is a $370 pump. It has a stainless steel wear ring. So no more fooling around with the plastic wear ring in a Seadoo and changing it out all the time. So this is going to give you a lot more hours of service than a plastic one will. Probably wear the impeller before the wear ring, or they'll wear together. How about that? All right, just want to make a quick note that the new cone didn't come with this. It's just a little tensioner thing that keeps play out of the. It keeps end-to-end play, which is there's a spec for it. It's like 0.05 play that you can have in that, where it moves back and forth. And then this kind of is an anti-rattle or tensioner thing with a stainless steel ring. If you run it on a trailer, you're going to get the ting and ting ting ting. You don't get that with a plastic wear ring. Just of note. Just wanted to show that the old neoprene seal came out pretty much whole. I just picked at it with a screwdriver and peeled right out. Got me a good clean surface, and I'm going to stick the new neoprene seal in, do the job right. And of course, when I go back in with the pump, I'll be putting some grease on the end of this shaft. Looks like he's got a broken piece there. Probably went on some rocks or something. Anyway, it can suck bigger stuff in your jet pump when those are broken. I didn't even notice that. So I got here working on this. That's not a critical thing, but I'll let him know about it. Anyway, new seal. I'll put Loctite on these and get this whole pump back on here. Okay, this Seadoo is back together. The worst part of this, leaving the ride plate on, is the two bottom nuts are really hard to get to. It's easy to drop them. I got big hands. If you got little hands, it won't be a problem, but it's a real tight area down in there to get those on. 24 foot-pounds. Remember, this is a plastic case. It does have metal inserts, but do your torques, seal around it. New neoprene seal, so I know that I'm going to have good seal from the jet pump to the body, the hull. And I did, you have to reuse your old bolts, the little bolts that they give you with this. I don't know, I guess they had them to hold, maybe they fit some other, but they don't work. You reuse your old bolts and use the nuts that they give you with this redesigned jet pump. You have to use those lock nuts that they give you, because the nuts for the old pump are stuck in the pump. So use the nuts they give you with the new one, put it all together, and that's it. She runs. Now it was locked up. He wouldn't do anything. She was, it needs to be choked, but I did verify. I need to water test it. This one should be lake ready.